Hey everyone, Orange here. Welcome back to another video. It's July. We're back in TOA hard once again. Today we're on floor 70. It's Craka. So I'm going to show you guys the first two waves because the first one was pretty difficult. I chose this team because I wanted to straight up nuke Craka, so Spectra is my main nuker here. That's why I'm running a little bit of a weird team. Arya would work pretty well, I think, because she just would, but you're not going to nuke her fast enough, so it could be kind of weird, but I think it'll work. You know, the fight's going to be prolonged a little bit, but it should be safer because you have another Despair stunner, because Arya should be on Despair. She has the sleeps she can do, so it's kind of up to you, but Spectra worked for me, so that's what I used. I would try Spectra first if I were you guys, if you have both units and you're debating on one or the other. So for the first wave, I went for the Fedoras first because they are super threatening to your fire units, because they will defense break your fire units and they will all pile on top and kill one of your fire units, or, you know, if you just bring one or two, whatever. And they also have their cleanse. On their third skill, they will cleanse everyone and then give them immunity, I think. I don't remember how many turns it's for. Let me pull it up here. So, a cleanse and then immunity for 2 turns, and also prevents all allies from death. So that death, the preventing from death part's not super important, but it's there. So I decided to seize the Fedoras, and then I think eventually here one of them does get their cleanse and immunity up. I think I kill this first one, then the other one of them moves, and then I decide to seize the Fedora and continue to CC it. So that's exactly what I did, and then after the Fedoras were dead, I worked on the Fukos. The Fukos do have a defense break, so it's not very good if they move, and my team's pretty good at locking down everything. Of course, with Arya, I would have more chances to lock down everything, but Spectre does a pretty good job of continuing to push their attack bars back, and that's pretty much what he does. You know, he lands a slow, and then he just keeps cranking out those pushbacks. Pretty good. So like I was saying, if the Fukos defense break you, it's generally not that big of a deal, because there's not like extra elemental advantage getting piled on that defense break. You know, if your Beretta gets defense broken, then the Fedoras can possibly hit him and there's elemental advantage going on there. But if the Fukos, I'm assuming, well, okay, for the most part, the Fukos shouldn't be defense breaking your 2 fire units, because it's wind versus fire. So if they do get a defense break off, it'll most likely be on Vero, Bella, or Mav. Those 3 units should be pretty tanky, and then, like I said, there's no elemental advantage going on there. If your Mav gets defense broken, the Fedoras probably won't even hit him, so that doesn't matter. So all you have to really think about is Vero and Bella. They might get defense broken, they should be okay. So like I said, I worked on the Fedoras one by one until they were all dead, and then once you kill one, it gets a lot easier. And then slowly I worked on killing the Fukos, and that is exactly how I passed the first stage. For the second wave, I decided to go for the Phantom Thieves first, but I think it might actually be better to go for the Rakshasas. I ended up just locking everything down, so I didn't have any problems. Usually I try out whatever, like I had like a feeling that the Phantom Thieves were more dangerous, but I think the Rakshasas are actually more dangerous. I'm pulling up their skills here, so I need to read about this third skill on the Rakshasa. Let's see, so decreasing attack bar. Okay, so I think for the Rakshasa, she has to completely deplete your attack bar to stun you. And the thing with that is, if the Rakshasa stun Bella, it's not the biggest of deals, but it's a big deal if Bella dies, but Bella's only really going to be healing you, and you don't really need heals too much. Like, the main thing you need is just to keep CCing them, and most of them shouldn't be moving anyways. So I just went for the Phantom Thieves first. Let me go ahead and double check the Phantom Thief skills, because I don't think anyone uses that Phantom Thief, so I do not know. He has a stun on his first, which can be kind of bad. And he would be prioritizing going for your Vero because of the elemental advantage. And you kind of need your Vero to be stomping on things, so I think it's fine, and maybe even better to go for the Phantom Thieves. so they don't stun you, so you can keep stomping on everything. And getting that CC out. I'm just gonna read these skills here quietly to myself. Attack speed slow, and then some invincibility. So the Phantom Thieves do have an invincibility skill, but you can still CC them through that, so yeah, just makes it so they take 0 damage, which is fine. I guess I will continue to show you guys this wave. It's kind of boring because it's pretty straightforward, you know, just keep everything CC'd and they'll die. I don't want to skip too far ahead to the boss because I might accidentally skip over. So I'm going to talk about this first in case anyone skips ahead in my video. I don't want to talk about the boss yet because if I talk about the boss now, they may not watch this portion. Let me think about the whole Ran thing. So Ran will possibly decrease your attack speed and put a dot on you, which is kind of whatever. The main thing is just her damage could be a little bit bad if she hits your Bella, so you may have to kind of go for one of each. Sometimes I do that. Just go through the level, and if this wave is giving you troubles, like I told you guys, it didn't trouble me at all. I beat it first clear. So if it gives you troubles, then figure out what you can do. You might have to do something else. You know, you might have to go for a Phantom Thief and a Ran at the same time, or you may have to go for the Rans first. It's kind of just whatever. Just figure it out. You guys can do it. I have faith in you. But yeah, it shouldn't be that hard as long as you can CC everything, which you should be running a team that has like a lot of CC, so it should be pretty easy. I want to talk about this Craka, but we are not quite there yet. I might skip ahead a little bit. Okay, let me go backwards. Okay, here we go. So for Craka, I told you guys I'm just going to straight up nuke her, and I'm just going to ignore the Dark Infernos. Arya would be a little bit safer here because there are some defense breaks going on, and if you can keep everything CC'd more, they won't defense break you. I just, like I said, went straight for Craka. I kept her taunted because her second skill is pretty dangerous. She swings at you twice, and each has a chance to defense break you. So if she defense breaks you on her first swing, her second swing will do more damage, which is not good. Make sure you do not kill the Dark Infernos, because you probably know they have a skill. It's their third skill. Let me read it to you guys. On the moment of death, inflicts 33% of your max HP as damage to the attacker and disturbs HP recovery for 1 turn. So they will pretty much kill you if you deal a killing blow to them, but dots are totally fine. It won't trigger that passive. So I did let some die to dots, and then also Craka kind of prioritizes her heal, or not her heal, her res if one of the Infernos is dead, but I still think the AI has a random chance of using something else, so you can't totally rely on her resing. I would just keep her taunted if you can at all times, but sometimes she will waste a turn. You'll probably notice her wasting a turn resing. Well, not really wasting, but she'll res if something is dead, and it's kind of like, okay, Craka, you know, do whatever you want. Doesn't really affect me because that res is just whatever. So there's the defense break on the Dark Infernos, which can be pretty bad, especially when they start stacking buffs. Like, you know, my Bella has a dot on her and a defense break, so that can be kind of bad, but I do have Vero and Mav as cleansers. Like, this team is just so good. People, like, I didn't come up with this, but the people who have played Summoners War before me kind of, you know, figure all this stuff out, and they're like, this is the best team, and all of the cleanses make it easy. So you guys are seeing I'm just pretty much locking everything down. Spectra is kind of like his own sort of lockdown. Like, I've noticed personally that Spectra, his attack bar pushback is really strong. Like, he can just keep pushing their attack bars back a lot, like, even there. So it's kind of like, he kind of works almost just as well as Arya, but not quite. But sometimes I have to use him. Like, I used him on the Sierra floor, I think. I tried Arya, and then I think I did try Arya, but then, like, I just tried Spectra, and it was like, wow, like, you know, this pushback's actually pretty strong. He lands it a lot, and it is pretty much like its own form of hard CC, sort of. Not really, but that's what it kind of feels like sometimes. So yeah, the main reason I used him is just to nuke out Craka, because I didn't want to fool around with those Infernos or her resing, and I knew that I could go a little bit YOLO But if you guys are finding that you can't go so YOLO as me, I would try Arya, and it's going to be a slow fight, but it should work out in the end. So yeah, there's the double Mon. That is it. Those are pretty much all the tips I have. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I will catch you guys in the next one.